lot of pressure, man.
Yeah, it is. Evil.
Knievel.
Not our real names.
Nailed it.
Oh, you want me to do my bit? Okay, here we go.
Who are those guys?
You're gonna love it. It's just a little independent.
That might have been too much, man.
So this is what's happening. There's small talk before the news broadcast, and we're like,
Are we rolling?
yeah, we're rolling. In the news broadcast, you'd be tightening your things and looking at the camera. Hi.
I'm taking a selfie right now.
Hi. Well, welcome, everybody. I hope you like that real hot stuff at the top. Welcome to a little independent.
A little hot independent.
Podcast where two friends talk about independent movies, obscure movies, or just plain weird movies. My name is Ryan.
And I'm Todd.
Hi, Todd.
Hi, Ryan.
Hi, Todd.
A celebration of
A celebration
independent film.
of independent film. That's what we're doing. How you doing today?
Pretty
Feeling
good.
good?
Getting
Getting
trying to
ready
get my
for this?
groove on here. Get
Right.
ready. Get in the pocket. Lock
Well,
in with the drummer.
We've done a few of these, and we get to as much as I think we try to get to in the movies.
Yeah.
But we're going to do a little take back from the last episode. We did a movie called Exam. And afterwards, you mentioned something I think we missed kind of big that we should just kind of bookend.
Okay. And it's cool that because you always get home and you're like, oh,
What it could have, but this is kind of a big one. I found something cool to read.
I should have said that.
So just really quickly, the last episode we did a movie called Exam. It's 8 people in a room. They are trying to get some kind of job. It's a job interview. But there seems to be no discernible question. There's a piece of paper with nothing on it. And it's a sociological experiment that devolves from there. What would you do? And
it's to get this, like, the ultimate
it
job.
goes, it descends into chaos. People start to work together, then they don't trust each other. And ultimately, one applicant figures out the question and gets the job. And
the answer.
And the answer. So that's kind of a fun thing about that episode and that movie is it's kind of a twist ending. What is the question? What's the point? But and it was clear that the person who got the question right or understood it had some help. So I found out, this is a description from, I think, the director about the end, where the invigilator, here we go.
What the hell is that?
The
mean?
invigilator is the guy administering the test. He enters the room and reveals that one of the characters who was taking the test is actually the CEO of the company and a scientist whose research has found a cure for a virus and also discovered a method of rapid cell regeneration capable of curing both the virus and is the gift of life for millions of people.
And they're in a pandemic.
And
Very
that's
fitting.
revealed, but so one of the characters is shot by a bullet. He miraculously lives, and it says that the bullet that hit him contained the cure, and that's why he was revived.
Yeah, it had the pill in it. Yep.
And with the desperate need for the drug and a limited supply, the company needed an administrator, which is the job, capable of making tough decisions with an attention to detail while showing compassion.
Miss Blondie, all compassion.
All traits that Miss Blonde displayed during the exam, and she takes the job. So I think, that's a big miss or we didn't, maybe it was a time issue,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. It was in I think both of our notes, we were,
yeah.
At least I had a blonde.
And maybe that's a fault of the movie because I was so focused on that twist. What was the question?
Yeah.
And I didn't think of anything else.
Well, looking at my notes, it says Blonde Compassion, which I think is a complete different movie.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that is. Did
So,
Andy
yeah.
Sedaris, was that an unfinished Sedaris script?
The first 3 Donna Tarrans.
Oh, gosh. Andy, I watched a little bit of Hard Hunted today, just FYI. The music in the beginning. Oh, so good. So that was the last episode. And what's funny is we're doing this podcast and we're watching these independent films. What's the last just totally bonkers, stupid, silly movie you watched? Because I know you take this stuff seriously. What was the last just like bullshit movie you watched to just turn your brain off?
Yeah. It was on Netflix and it was
Not a sponsor of this show.
The comedy with that guy and girl, something to do with alien, what?
Okay, we've established it's a comedy.
Yes.
There's a guy and girl in it.
Yes.
And aliens.
Yes.
E.T.?
They Don't Phone Home.
They don't. Okay.
Shit, I can't think of the name of it.
All
But
right.
it was just like stupid, no thinking comedy.
So did that go down smooth?
It was entertaining, and then the end I was like, oh, that was kind of an abrupt, let's get it over with end.
Uh-oh.
But you always got to have a good ending.
I recently watched Superman 3. And I'm here to tell you that's a great movie.
Right between
And
Triple X, Xander K.
Most of what I watch are bullshit, silly movies, but I think that was one that I kind of like the James Bond movie A View to a Kill. It was on cable when I was in the right years, and I watched it all the time.
Yeah.
Superman 3 was the same movie.
So it's
I
from your youth.
love it from my youth,
Yeah.
and I didn't understand what a coup it was to have Richard Pryor in that movie. and it works. I mean, when he pretends to be the general and gives him he's doing the Superman saved our Buster Browns or whatever, it's legitimately funny. I mean, there's some corn in it, and some cheese, but I don't know. It held up, but still very silly.
I really wish I could share lines with you on that one, but I don't have it.
My favorite line
Superman 3, I don't
is he flies up to a bimbo lady who's sitting on the Statue of Liberty, and he's like grown a beard because he's been infected with kryptonite, and he's bad because Richard Pryor put tar in it because there's an unknown element. Anyway, he says, "I hope you don't expect me to save you. I don't do that anymore."
That's great.
And it's probably the creepiest line ever because he's like, "I'm not here for saving.
You're screwed, lady."
How did you get up here?" She's on the outside of the Statue of Liberty in a Marilyn Monroe dress, and it's just a bananas moment because he's never been so predatory. And he ultimately, I think, meets her for champagne and bedtime. So,
well, you
don't know.
can
It's a
get
weird
up to
movie.
the top, right? The inside, you go up
she's
the
on the
stairs.
outside. She is on the head of the.
She went right through
it's
the
not right.
eyeball,
It's not right.
climbed on the outside.
She wasn't equipped for it. So here we are with another episode, and this is Todd's.
It's
pick.
my turn.
Todd's pick.
It's
So
a
talk
Todd
to
pick.
us about Todd's pick.
Oh man. Well, Skin of the Wolf, 2017 on Netflix. Why is it an independent? It was in the Miami Film Festival. Don't know if Netflix bought it at the Miami Film Festival or if a distributor bought it there and then got it picked up by Netflix.
I found that it showed at the Sevilla European Film Festival as well.
Okay.
Did you find that?
No, I just got the Miami International.
That was on the poster, and I had to zoom in to read it. In the Sevilla
This guy's brilliant.
European Film Festival, it seems to be a celebration of European film.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's held. I couldn't find that.
Wait, you zoomed in on the movie poster that you found online
Yeah.
and got that info.
Yes, I did.
That is awesome.
Well, it's important.
Yeah. I only watched the movie 4 times in preparation this week.
So I typically with the film descriptions, I go with IMDb, but I have kind of a two-parter. So this is the IMDb film description for Skin of the Wolf. A Highlander that lives alone in the mountains buys a wife to relieve his loneliness. Now that's on IMDb. Now,
that was kind of
wrong.
like
A
a
Highlander?
shortcut. Yeah, I got a different
I
name
didn't
for
see
him.
Christopher Lambert in it. I didn't see, Sean Connery.
I didn't see a ponytail.
No swords. So that's interesting. And the reason I pulled another description was because that one I think was so wildly
Yeah.
inaccurate.
Yeah.
Um,
It's too short. It doesn't really give you much.
But the
Accurate.
Netflix one I think is problematic too. It's closer, but Netflix film description is thus. An animal trapper living in an abandoned mountain town in northern Spain seeks to resolve his loneliness by securing a wife.
Okay. So
I
everything
don't
up
think that's
till
accurate either.
everything up till Seeks is spot on.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Because that just struck me when we're going to get into the wolf. So we're going to get into the skinning. We're going to get into the mouth sounds, the loudest eating I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
I almost threw up watching this movie twice because of the sounds.
And what films that really, I'm going to use the term realism. I don't know if that's, I'm going to apply it to movies, but movies that take you to a time and place and you're like really there.
Yeah.
Kind of compared to Winter's Bone a little bit.
Sure.
Because after you watch that movie, you probably don't want to watch it again because it was so real. You felt like you were in
Right.
the Ozarks of Missouri, right in the middle of the meth.
Oh, that's right. So this is a movie that came from our lunch days when we worked together.
Yep.
And I remember you told me about it.
Yeah, I'm like, you got to see this.
And initially, what did I say? I said,
it's too dark.
absolutely not.
I can't
I'm
go
never
there.
going to watch this.
It'll ruin me.
And your description of it was accurate. Now, having seen it, but I remember at the time, like, in no way am I ever going to want to watch this.
Yeah.
And I get it. In some movies you see once and you don't want to watch again. I mentioned Braveheart's the same way. That's a rough movie to watch more than once.
Yeah. Well, there's several scenes in there that just stay with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this, on the surface, when you read some of the descriptions, it kind of, it doesn't steer you the right way. And some, I have problems with descriptions, and I think you're really bold in taking a chance on movies that, may be something different than you think it's going to be, and you don't listen to the description.
It's like, I'm going in. We'll see what happens.
Because if I listen to IMDb, I would assume there'd be a sword fight to the death. There can be only one. Somebody's head's going to get cut off.
Yeah.
Or it was set in Scotland.
Highland. Yeah, you'd be in the.
Now, this may be.
Is
a Highlander only Scottish? Can you be a Spanish Highlander?
I don't know. Well, mountain man is probably an American term.
So you can probably live in the Highland anywhere and not have to be a Scottish swordsman.
Well, I've got a name for him. When we get there, I don't know if we want to do that.
Well, okay, so I'll go. IMDb categorizes the movie as action, adventure, drama.
Action, adventure.
I think 2 out of 3 of those are not applicable.
Well, it's definitely a drama.
Netflix. Right? Netflix does something kind of interesting, and I like this. They will say the genre. Per Netflix, the genre is Spanish period pieces dramas. And then they'll do this movie is, and then they'll do adjectives about it.
Okay.
And it says understated, gritty, and dark.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting, when I think dark, yeah, this movie's dark. But it's shot in a way that doesn't feel claustrophobic and oppressive, and
it's full of compassion at the same time. Like there's
full?
So much full. I've got notes chock full of it. You don't, when you first watch it, your first run through, the parts that stay with you are dark and
we're
gritty.
going to align on this because there's like 3 bits of compassion in it.
So it transports you to another time in the Pyrenees Mountains in Spain, probably mid to late 1800s. He does use a match, so matches weren't invented until 1826. So I'm going to say, mid.
This is fucking interesting.
Mid to late 1800s. And you remember the movie Lucy with
Scarlett Johansson? Yeah.
Yeah, when she's
set in the late 1800s.
Yeah. Well, she
Crazy.
goes there. Remember when she's sitting in the office chair and she's spinning the TV, spinning the screen and going back in time, and then watches the scene and then goes back in time a little farther and watches it? That's what this movie does for you. You sit in your chair and you spin back to 1880 and you're there. And this filmmaker is once again a first time.
I may have out-nerded you on your own favorite movie because I don't think it's in the 1800s, but we'll get there.
Well, the rifle's closer to World War I, 1917. So
I think it's later. I may have found what model that rifle is, but so we're gonna get into the cast, and this I've been teeing this up for so long. The thing that blew my mind about this movie. Okay,
he's been texting me teasers all week long,
and I hope this pays off. This isn't for the audience. This isn't for you people. This is for Todd.
He said I was going to lose my mind,
and now I feel in the moment I've set it up too big.
Okay.
But when we started, when we hatched the idea for this podcast about talking about independent movies together for the benefit of people, hopefully to listen. I don't know about you, but I had a list, like off the top of my head, immediately movies I wanted to do.
Yeah.
This list is probably 20 movies long. And on that list, there are 2 foreign films. 2.
Out of all of them?
Out of all of them.
Okay.
2 foreign films. Both of them star the lead actor of this movie. I'm not kidding.
Shut up.
I'm not kidding.
So you knew this guy going in.
Mario Kassas is the lead actor in this movie, and I swear to God, on my list of movies to do on this podcast, 2 foreign films, both Spanish, both star this guy.
Oh my God, he is a real pretty boy when he's in without his beard and in regular clothes.
So it should be noted, there's about 3 lines of dialogue in this movie, and nobody has a name. So names are irrelevant, but he's cast...
Wait, 3 lines of dialogue in the entire
maybe
movie?
4 lines of dialogue. But his name is... He's cast as Martinon. Martinon.
Martine? I don't know.
He's been in a lot, as you said. Cleans up really nice. He's in a 2010 movie called Neon Flesh, which kind of looks interesting, kind of like Risky Business.
So that's not one you picked.
And then 2 movies that are on the list that we'll talk about on this podcast eventually, which is so bizarre.
Talk about random.
He comes from an acting family, actually. All of his siblings are actors. And the most notable performance is his brother Oscar is in a movie called The Orphanage. I've talked to you about that before.
Yeah.
The Guillermo del Toro produced movie.
Yeah.
Has the most heartbreaking end of any movie ever. Did you watch it?
No, but you've told me that you're not the same.
It's rough.
Yeah.
The second listed star of the film is Irene Escolar. Plays Adela.
That's the older of the 2,
That's
right?
No, that's wife 2.
No, that's okay.
And arguably she has more screen time.
So interestingly enough, Irene, is that right?
Her actual name is Irene Escolar.
Okay, so Irene and our star
Mario
are only 2 years apart. Yet in this movie, it plays like a 32-year-old
and a teenager
and a
almost.
16-year-old.
Yeah, interesting.
She's 2 years younger than him.
In real life?
In real life.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so 34 and 32 currently. That's what they are right now. This movie was 4 years ago.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and then daughter number 1 there.
I'd never seen her in
She's
anything.
45 years old.
Oh, yeah. She looks like she's 60.
She didn't.
But we'll get there. So Irene, her grandmother and parents were actors, so a lot of nepotism happening in Spain, apparently. She's best known for a movie called An Autumn Without Berlin, which kind of looks interesting. And then another movie she's in called Imagining Argentina, about a guy who can see other people's fate and futures except for his own wife. And there may be something. So that's kind of sounded cool. Yeah. Third build is Ruth Diaz. She's billed as Pascuala. That is wife
daughter
number 1. So she's in a movie called Sex Crazy. And I noted this because this is the description of Sex Crazy. Nano is a young schizophrenic who believes himself destined to stop the global arms race. He's always lived alone with his overwhelming mother. Now he meets Crazy Ramon. That's the
Sex Crazy.
That's Sex Crazy. And then fourth build is Candido Uranga, and his character name is Severino. And as far as I can tell, he's the bar owner.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it took me a while to pick up on the difference, and that was one of the things I picked up
bizarre
on today.
that there are no character names, and I think that's particularly effective.
Yeah.
You know, they're not.
That's what
they're
they
not
would
people,
actually
they're-
do in this movie. They're not. This guy's not social. You know, he's not a talker.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree.
Mario.
And Candido Uranga was in a movie that just kind of stood out to me, The Backwoods, so perfect for you. 2006, and it stars Gary Oldman, and Gary Oldman and his wife are
I've seen that.
Have you?
It's like British.
I would assume, I don't know.
It's 2 couples go out to this, like a Airbnb type thing before it was
They're on
Airbnb
vacation,
in the
yeah.
backwoods, and then they run into this whole mafia. It's
they find a
friggin'
girl
nuts.
imprisoned in a cabin.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
I've seen it.
Holy cow.
That was one of those that I'm going in because Gary Oldman was in it, so I had to find out. It's a crazy ride.
Well, you've seen Severino in another movie, The Bar Owner.
Wow.
And then written and directed by Samu Fuentes, first writing and directing credit, which is impressive. I mean, this is a big debut, and it's big production, and it's gorgeous to look at, this movie. Holy cow.
Yeah.
The cinematography.
The score.
The score. Tagline, I translated it, is the wildest side of human nature. That's the official tagline. 1 hour and 50 minutes. Budget was 1.7 million euros, which is about 2 million.
Translation?
2 million US. And the
Really?
worldwide gross. Did you look this up? Do you want to guess?
First time filmmaker how did he raise $2 million? He's a first. Well, because he had Mario.
Yeah, I
Mario's
think
a
he got it
heartthrob
on
movie star.
Yeah, on the
so
lead
you
actor.
get him.
Yeah,
You get him signed on. You get $2 million.
100%. And this guy was probably like, "Hey, I've been playing a pretty boy for so long. Let me grow a beard and
He wanted to stretch his
and grunt for a while
his
and wheeze.
his loins, his
His loins.
he wanted to stretch. He wanted
You know
to
what?
stretch out a little
He
bit.
called his agent, "Hey, Sergio, I want to stretch my loins. Can you
Yeah.
get me into a weird wolf skin
can
movie?"
you get me Irene and Ruth? I need to I need to work this out.
Worldwide gross. What would you think?
All right, cost $2 million to make. Worldwide gross was $167,000.
Ooh, $52,408.
Oh, Mario, you didn't draw him in, Mario.
And it was rated, and Netflix does this. It's rated TV 14
Maybe if they used Brad Pitt,
in this.
yeah,
Maybe there can be an American
instead
remake.
of because Mario didn't have the moist lips going on.
You could not see his lips. No, they were moist. He was constantly eating, like Brad Pitt.
Slobbering.
So I've got the trailer, and we talked about doing trailers, and I just thought I'd play the trailer because this is obviously a Spanish film. It's subtitled, but the score was so good. I do have a clip, but I thought I'd play
in Spanish, obviously.
it may be a little different than you think. So here's the trailer for the film, and just see what you think. You get the atmosphere. Maybe you can recut it and put your own English subtitles to it. Here you go.
El invierno se hace largo, y más allí. ¿No te gustaría tener un hijo? Tú y yo habíamos hecho un trato. Te di dinero y buenas pieles, y a cambio tú me diste. ¿Nunca has pensado en irte? Aquí se aprende a sobrevivir sin darte cuenta. Ya lo verás. Además, ahora ya no estoy solo.
This guy's wheezing.
Man, that is
Now I think that little violin flare at the end has been used in so many horror movies. That
the little scratching and
So-
up in the top there. Yeah. But listening to that, your mind just goes to a different, you're not going to see the movie that.
I mean, the trailer contained every single line of dialogue in the movie, which is interesting.
they squeezed it all in.
But
There is not a lot of dialogue, which is what I really like about this movie because I am a huge fan of show, don't tell.
yeah,
And again, all three of my movies so far that I've done are all first-time filmmakers. And all of them did that particular technique
yeah.
brilliantly.
Well, the movie opens in a semi-predictable way in that it's a landscape shot. There's snow. It's
Yep.
cold,
Yeah, kind
and
of droning through the mountain. They're in the Pyrenees Mountains and between
This is
Spain
northern
and
Spain.
France.
but that's not at all discussed or discovered, or you're just led to. It could be anywhere.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it could be the Alps. For all
And
you
the
know.
time period is kind of unknown. The film settles on a deer, a buck, right?
Yeah, European style. Like I guess they call
European
them a stag.
style?
Yeah,
Oh, was he
because
wearing
it's
like
not
a-
like a whitetail or a mule deer. It's more like I guess you would call it a stag if you were
Oh.
in England.
I thought
It's
it's
not
'cause
an
he-
it's not an elk. I think the term would be stag.
It's because he was wearing a Speedo and gold chains. You thought he was European?
Yeah, Mario.
He's saying things like,
Mario.
let's have wine for breakfast.
Mario's not bringing the Speedo in this one though.
What I'm curious about is how they got that shot of that deer. It's super close, and it seemed very comfortable with them.
It was probably a hunting farm where they just here's your number, go shoot it.
There you go. But it settles on his gun. And again, I'm trying to figure out the time period. You said late 1800s, but that gun appears to be a German KAR 98. And that was an infantry rifle given to the German army in 1925.
Okay, see, it looked like a
bolt action.
It looked like a World War I bolt action because they had the wood on the top and the bottom, over the barrel like that.
Yeah.
And that struck me
But
as
they made a
one
point
of
to
those
show the gun
Springfield.
immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that had to be intentional.
Yeah, it struck me as a World War I gun.
At least. So I'm thinking at least
But I don't know how long those have
1900s.
been out. It's not a muzzleloader. It's a cartridge bolt-action rifle. So, but I didn't look up what year those actually come in.
And then
So,
when they show ultimately where he lives, he seems to be in the foothills of a army base or some kind of village or something.
it's a ghost town.
I thought maybe that had to do with the Spanish Civil War, which 1936 and 1939, which is where he could have gotten the gun, and that's an abandoned, stronghold.
Yeah, I didn't see any like fortifications though. It just looked like a village up in the mountains that it was just too harsh.
Are you saying that I looked too hard into the skin of the wolf? No. I just brought the Spanish Civil War up. I read about it.
Yeah,
I understood it. I learned how German weaponry could get in the hands of this mountain man.
And you're making an excellent case. I just didn't see the fortifications for a Civil War outpost.
You sly tactician, technical expert, you.
Yeah.
So
Wait, what was the deer called again? Wait.
Deer, European deer. His name was Johann.
With the speed,
With
he
the
caught him
Speedo
with the
on.
speedo
Yeah.
off.
So he shoots the deer again, stabs it in the neck to kill it, as you do, and
Well, he ran after it, all out. Right after he takes a shot, he just jumps out, the heavy
Yeah.
breathing, and he's just like, he's not letting this thing get far.
because it's clearly, well, not clearly, it's very important,
It's
and
his substance in the dead of winter. They're in the dead of winter.
he bags this thing and he carries it up on a homemade sled on his shoulders,
Yeah.
up what was probably a long way.
He's got it on a. Did he have it on the sleigh?
Yeah, but he's still
And
pulling
he's
it with
pulling
his
the
body.
sleigh as the horse. He's got the
Yeah,
harness
this
around
is
him.
Insane.
Yeah.
That's a long way to go with a ton of weight.
Yeah, he's
But
literally the horse.
It's food for seasons, right? As long as
Yeah.
he can, depending on the time.
So this kind of brings us into my name for him. I'm going to call him Caveman, because he's kind of already set that up as to the rawness of him in these first couple of scenes.
Yeah.
And an interesting fact: Neanderthal DNA exists in 2% quantity in a lot of humans. In Europe and Asia, it's higher. So let's say 5 or 6%.
Ooh.
How much would you say Mario Caveman? What do you think his percentage of Neanderthal DNA is?
His real percentage or
After
his
having
acting percentage?
seen this whole movie,
his acting
his
percentage?
acting, the character in this movie.
77%. At least. Because the guy's nonverbal.
7.
He is incapable of...
He does grunt a lot.
Oh, in his eating. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Why did... Anyway,
But
I thought he was Benicio del Toro for a long time because at every
I thought-
angle he looked like Benicio.
I thought he was Don Juan, Johnny Depp.
Don Juan DeMarco?
Yeah.
He never had a beard.
No, just,
Did he?
No, just for the
Is
scenes
that the one
are
with
coming
Marlon
up.
Brando? That is where he's the psychiatrist. Marlon Brando's the psychiatrist, and Johnny Depp thinks he's Don Juan. It's actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah, you got me on that one.
So anyway, he lugs this deer up to his home, which is a stone structure, very modest. It's clear this guy is off the grid, if there's even a grid. And
Yeah, there's no one around.
he gets in, he makes a fire.
Okay, so this was brilliant. Back to the realism. I made a big note on this, the fire. So many movies drive me crazy with fire because they do not make a fire
Properly?
like how you would actually make a fire.
This is a gripe that you have?
So,
I didn't know this.
God, it drives me crazy. Because there's movies where they're sitting in the desert, there isn't a tree in sight, and they have this perfectly burning fire. You know, it happens all the time. It drives me crazy.
So you're saying little kids are watching movies like that's the bullshit way to make a fire. These kids are going to die in the wilderness. They need to be shown how to do it properly.
From my survival and camping days, right? it's near and dear to my heart. So at least, what's our Sam? Is it Sam U Fuentes? How do you think you pronounce that? The writer director.
Samu, Samu,
Samu
or Samu
Fuentes. So he's got him making a fire using tiny little twigs, pine cones. He did use a match, but he did the proper preparation first. Then he added the bigger logs. He's constantly blowing onto the fire to make it burn into flame.
You got it here. The most legit. Would you say this is the most
realistic,
legit fire you've seen in a movie?
Probably not the most, but close. Because the 2 logs he put on there were a little big. But if they were super dry, it would have worked.
Is this why you watched this movie 4 times? To watch him build that fire
and blow it into flame.
Stoke that fire,
Mario.
Well, he makes a fire. And
the realism part of it. There you go.
And he sleeps on a board.
Yep.
And he looks, and this ties back to He Never Died, another movie. He just looks bored or vacant.
He looked pretty content when he went to sleep at that first scene.
I took just like, I don't know, like
he
dumb
just
or
drug,
devoid.
He just drug a
Oh, he's tired.
Full-size stag on his shoulders. Yeah, through the snow.
And they do a good job in trying to set up. Well, they do a good job, and sometimes they don't do a good job because at times I don't know where he is, what's his house, because the snow is gone and I'm thinking, where is he? Mm-hmm. But they establish at least that there's a cemetery up on the ridge.
Yep.
And he's at the foot of what was an old town something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't.
It's an abandoned village. You can see that. You see him throw straw into this other stone building, which is feeding the goats, because you do hear the goats, making some noise.
He's raising goats, and he gets what he needs from this old, so he gets wood, and it's clearly helping him survive this old town, because he goes up and he, gets wood from one of the things. He gets rope.
Yeah, at one point he does that, and he gets wood from the wilderness as well. But
and I think that's kind of cool. And in the cemetery, I thought there may be some meaning into the pan. It pans over the cemetery, and one of the crosses. Did you see what it said on it? It said Heron.
There were words for a brief moment, but I did not make it out. No,
I was trying to suss out some kind of what may have been important about this. And this is where Jess said, "Are you sure it's not post-apocalyptic? Is this sci-fi?"
Oh,
and then I'm like, okay,
it could have been.
It could be 2342. And it's one of those, people regress, but
that's all that's left of that town.
Clearly not the case. Like Monte Doro was billed as a sci-fi movie with its apocalyptic city. But so this is the first time where we hear him eat. Now it's disgusting.
He's dipping the bread into this wet, soupy.
I don't like like my man Jason Mantzoukas, great actor, how this get made. He hates what he calls wet mouth sounds in movies.
Oh, he would love this
would be his nightmare. This is
his hell. This is what if he goes to hell, this is it.
So he clearly is a guy who's living alone. He's off the grid for sure. This could be the 1800s. It could be 1925. And he decides to go to town. And that's a thing that I like is the going to town situation because
it's springtime. So the first 15 minutes is basically day in the life of him surviving through the winter. Then he packs up all his wolf skins into that big backpack. And when he's hiking out, you can see it's green and there's blossoms. There's a big tree right there full of blossoms. So it's clearly spring. So, like we have the Blossom Fest here, right? So it's definitely springtime. So he just came out of the winter. He's got all his skins of the wolf.
Do you notice that he locks his door when he leaves? Locks his door. I laughed. I'm like, wait a second. Both of us were like, did he just lock his door? Did he put the lock on?
Ladies and gentlemen, only Ryan can do that.
It was pretty glaring because he like. I did find something on Wikipedia, which we know to be true, is that whoever wrote the summation of the movie says it takes 2 days to get into town.
Yeah, it's right here in my notes. 2
How
day
did you
trip.
find that?
You watch them.
You assumed from that was 2 days?
It's clearly 2 days without
Good.
question.
It could have been 4, it could have been 12.
Shall I explain? He hikes out of the village, right? He's got his backpack, and he goes, it's daytime, and he goes up and down the trails, down the riverbank, and then he goes down that hill, right?
Are you clocking the sun at this point?
It's going to get dark. He goes down that rope to the waterfall, and then another realism point that I really loved, there's a cave behind the waterfall, and he
Oh God.
creeps up to it,
This cave.
and he picks up a rock, zings the rock, and his face is just awesome in this. Why is he throwing rocks in the cave? Well, there might be a friggin' bear or a panther or whatever in there, right? You don't just willy-nilly go walking into a dark cave because you get
I
eaten.
do that in most rooms in my house.
Yeah,
I
throw
have
rocks.
pockets full of rocks. So my kids are wily. You never know who's in there. So I just toss a rock and, something dangerous
Could
comes
be
out.
some poltergeist in there.
That cave behind the waterfall.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he live there? It's so lovely.
Well,
And he has a fire, and it's the only time that he kind of emotes because he's laying down and he's kind of like, this is pretty great.
in the entire movie, I've got it underlined here in my notes, that is the only time he smiles. And that is why I call him Caveman.
Ah,
He's laying down in front of the fire, and he's literally smiling.
it's lovely.
And it's the only time he smiles in the entire movie.
There's stay there. That sounds pretty
he's a
good. It's closer.
caveman.
It's closer to town.
But he won't have his goats and goat's milk, and he won't have...
Yes. The only thing he loves.
got-
So he gets into town, and again, town doesn't really give away too much. It could be, I don't think it's the 1800s by this point, because you see one spoiler later, he goes into a house that has lights, electricity.
Yeah, I saw that in somebody's notes, too, on the thing that didn't fit with the rest of the time frame.
Well, I don't know. I mean, could it not be 1925?
Because everything else was lanterns, and I don't know. We'll see when we get to the part of the selling your kin.
So, I
Is
mean,
that acceptable in 25?
the stat that I have is electricity. In 1925, only half of U.S. homes had electricity. Now, and that was in the U.S. I mean, electricity in mass, was available in a way in the late 1800s, but still by 1925, half of U.S. homes had it. And there's a fun stat about the White House too, I'm sounding ignorant about the first president who had electricity. So look that up on your own, ladies and gentlemen. Get back at us about
What's
that.
with the light bulbs? Should they be there? Shouldn't they be
So
there?
he gets into town, and now we have the first line of dialogue, and we're 17 minutes and 8 seconds into the movie.
Yes. Well, we should point out that just before he gets in, I'm going to call it the saloon, where the first dialogue happens, he peers in a door, which is in the mill. So you see the stream going by, you see the waterwork, the wheel, and then we have our gal in there, daughter number 1, doing the
washing lady.
mixing the grain. So
Oh, I thought she
that was a grain mill. So they were making grain into flour,
I thought she
which
was
is what they
washing
did in the late 1800s.
Uh-oh. Are we poking holes in your movie? And the first line of dialogue is he meets the bartender at the saloon, and the bartender says, "Go tell the mayor, wolves are here,"
The wolves are here,
which is
and he says it to 2 kids.
the pelts. Go get the mayor. This
The wolves
is
are
a
here.
moment that warrants bringing the mayor out of whatever he's doing. What do you think that mayor is doing in that town? How did he get elected? What is he doing? Is he cleaning up the streets? Streets look dirty.
He is mafia based, running the
He
town.
could not be more or less mafia based. The guy came in, he's like,
Excuse me.
Yeah,
I only have 59 coins for these
he
things.
was no match for Caveman. Caveman lit him up.
so they haggle over the price of the pelts. And what I thought was interesting is he mentioned, there was an adult and there was a female and 2 cubs, and he said he had to kill a pregnant wolf, and that's bad for him,
Right.
Because it's less
Because it's
wolves
4
for a
less wolves
future.
he would have
Yeah.
the next season to shoot.
So the mayor doesn't have the coin to drop on these sweet, sweet wolf pelts.
Yeah. Well, he tries to give him 59 coins. Turns out it only has 50 anyway. And Mario, Caveman, insists on 69 coins for the reasons you just mentioned. And our washcloth mayor doesn't even everybody's afraid of him. You can tell.
Well, maybe, yeah, I guess.
Not the saloon owner. He seems to have a rapport with them.
And that's probably
those
the
two
person
are-
he talks to most because
Yeah.
he goes there, interacts with him. That guy facilitates his stuff, and then he's out.
Yeah, because he didn't talk to daughter one. He just kind of looked at her and left.
And so, do they ever resolve? They take the pelts, and he says,
Oh, yeah, they
I'm
take the
19
pelts
coins
out."
short. Maybe the bartender can shore you up." So he gets 2 bottles,
Yep.
right? So you assume that they make everything whole.
And the mayor leaves.
The grocery store, yeah.
He has a couple other guys carry the pelts for him. Mayor does not touch wolf pelts.
They
and-
look gross.
And in this time frame, so this is real cool for me because I actually have a document, or I have read a document. I had a fire, so I lost it, the actual document. I'll have to re-get it. But I have a relative, a very distant relative from late 1700s, early 1800s, Hezekiah Boone. And when he was in Virginia, there is an actual document of him having 5 wolf pelts and using it as like a form of currency. So this whole this whole thing, the pelts are currency,
Yeah.
as well as coin.
Well, so we're, also beads and stones and sticks. Like, if you presented it the right way, here you go.
You
I've got
can
a
get
bead
just about
necklace.
anything you want.
I've got a wooden nickel. Let me have New York.
But I think the reason wolf's pelts were valuable is because they were
Is that a
considered
thing?
such a nuisance.
It's just
They
so
kill all
hard
your
to procure
livestock.
them.
Yeah, because the whole thing without his dog and goats being killed
Yeah.
when they're having that conversation,
Yeah.
which is coming up in a moment here. And then he says, well, you don't want another dog?
How about a woman?
How about a woman?
It's a
Don't you
natural
want a
progression.
son? Wouldn't you like to have a son?
So is that bartender like his nosy girlfriend who's just trying to get him hitched?
He is. Well, caveman wasn't having it though. He's like, "This is no place for women. Are hard
Well,
to
yeah,
tame."
he's talking to the bartender, and the bartender is suggesting a wife and suggesting a child,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, "Where I live is too harsh. It's not good for a wife. It's not good for a child."
He also said dogs would take too long to tame, and he said that
No, he said
are
women
harder to
are harder
tame.
to tame.
Because he mentioned the dogs first.
Which
It would take too
The
long.
movie proves untrue completely because these women have no agency, no personality, no life, no thoughts of their own.
I don't know. Daughter number 2
There is a nice twist.
does have a zinger.
He ends up. The bartender says something kind of interesting. He again is trying to sell caveman on a wife, and he
Yeah.
says, "Well, who's going to get your shit when you die? Just some random person is going to take what's left."
Yeah, everything you've worked
If
for,
we're being honest,
they're
what is
just going to
there?
inherit. There's nothing there. but
There's a
rocks.
bowl he eats out of that he probably made out of his own shit. There's rocks. There's the wooden bed.
Yeah,
There's a very accurate campfire.
it's dilapidated stone
But-
buildings. That's all it is, way up in the mountains.
And then he says,
Oh,
"I'm going to burn everything to
the
the ground." And I got a question for you.
it's made of stone. How the hell are you going to burn it to the ground?
There is that, and we're not, heaping upon him an overabundance of brains. I guess survival instinct. Yeah.
76%.
So if he feels
Neanderthal.
like he's going to perish, is he going to set a fire and die in the fire? How is he going to ensure that he burns everything to the ground?
Yeah, and he doesn't do
'Cause
that.
they die
Interestingly
slow.
enough,
Back in the day,
there was no payoff on that.
They just think like, I might be about to pass. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how he's going to know. So
that was just a manly thing to say. Like, I'll burn it to the ground before any of these slackers.
he
will
does
get
a
my
couple of
stuff.
things before leaving town. One, he goes to get new, I assume, traps from the
those were traps from the blacksmith,
which is foreshadowing, I think.
and he paid in coin. Interesting. He didn't pay
got,
with skins.
He got coin from the mayor.
Yeah,
He's paying it forward.
but I'm leading up to something you probably missed. So, because I didn't catch it the first time.
Decidedly miss it because
Because he paid with coin at the blacksmith. That's what I'm saying. He looked over the traps really good. And he spent a lot of time working on his traps over the winter and, cleaning his traps, cleaning
Yeah.
the guns. That's his.
Well,
that's
sometimes
thing.
his traps literally flatten an entire animal into the ground,
That-
which I
That-
assume he has magical traps.
No,
but
that-
what?
that-
Wow.
That was the fox dehydrated and frozen. That's what they look like. It's not a pretty sight. And I hate to say it, but I think that was real. I think that was a real animal.
Gross.
Yeah.
So
Can't do that here. You can do it in Spain.
he leaves town, and on the way out, he stops. I called her washerwoman, grain woman, and he and her have a little kinky time. No dialogue, just wham bam, and out he goes.
Okay, so you did miss it. So when he walks in the door,
He
looks
pays her?
He looks at her. Yep. He takes out some small pelts, not wolves, but let's say mink, fox, whatever. Sets them on the counter as he looks at her, like this is what this is gonna like. They've done this before, in my opinion. Off comes the backpack. He walks over, spins her around so her backside's facing him, and
So wait,
spits in his hand. Spits a big loogie in his hand. that
you
was
can't say this guy's not kind.
Yeah,
You know, he spits in his hand before.
yeah. I mean, the KY store was closed.
What's probably an assault. And
Oh, she was kissing him. She was rubbing the back of his head.
okay,
she was,
so
she was
she's a
in.
prostitute.
She was yes.
And this confirms
paid her with
okay,
pelts.
Interesting. So
At least at that particular moment, she was.
he's out. He gets back home, and what gets him to come back? Because again, he's eating like a disgusting monster,
Okay, so he's
and he sees her neckerchief, her
yep,
handkerchief.
I call it the scarf.
Is that what that was?
That's what she was wearing around her head.
Okay, why did he take it?
He carries it out when he leaves there. Right after he does the
didn't
wild
see him
caveman
do
thing
that.
with her. Yeah, it's in his hand,
Okay,
and
So
then
this
he's eating. Right, and he's probably thinking, "Man, I'd like to go all caveman again right now," and just staring at that scarf. And then the salesman lines running through his head. How about a woman? How about a son?
so this is what prompts him to make
Yeah.
the 2-day journey back into town.
Yeah, this is all the show don't
this whole
tell.
thing?
I mean, this is a first-time filmmaker. God bless him. This is good stuff, people.
You know, actually, going back, what I think was interesting, there was a bit of kindness because before he went to bang Oats Lady, he went to the river and he washed
up.
himself.
Yep, and his teeth.
And that
brushed
was
his teeth.
also disgusting because I think of how bad
He
the
would
two of
smell.
them must smell together. Oh,
Yeah.
God, the smell would burn down that building.
But that was normal back then.
I
Can
know.
you believe that?
I know. That's just what they dealt with.
Look at Columbus when he sailed over. Did they take baths in that ship for 3 months?
Oof. I guess you get used to it, right? You get
I
the old
don't-
West,
I
just
don't know.
there's shit all over the place and everybody smelled.
We're so far removed from that.
Yeah,
we
I don't think we
can't
can
even
handle it. So he goes back to town, and this is where I noticed the lights. Because
Yeah.
he goes to her,
For
what you
sure.
find out are her father's house, and there are lights on the wall. So I'm like, oh, 20s.
And yeah, they do a fast cut, like boom, he's back in the cave, and then he's down
That
there.
didn't take me out of it. It
They
didn't.
don't to do the whole travel. No, because they've already established it's a 2-day
Yeah.
hike to get to that village.
Plus,
You don't-
I mean, in the 1920s, you could have people living remotely like that, very simply. You have it today,
and,
I'm sure.
and well, you don't need to show that whole journey twice. So it's already been established.
They show a lot of it, I
But-
think, appropriately when they have to.
So this when he's back in the village, this shot is just so beautiful for me, the way it was shot. Again, there's no dialogue. It's pouring down rain. The camera's outside and it's on a track, and they're shooting through the window, and he's negotiating with a new guy. They're having drinks, they're shaking hands, and I call him is it Geppetto? Who's Pinocchio's?
Geppetto, yeah.
Yeah. This guy's Geppetto.
Geppetto,
Yeah, he looks like Geppetto to me.
the dad?
The dad. He's just got hair around the side. He's bald on the top. Short little frumpy guy.
You brought a kids movie into this.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And a long nose.
Well, it should have been lengthier with
Don't
the swindle that
Tell
he
a lie.
puts forth. But so he ostensibly deals with the dad to buy this
Well,
woman.
This is all that. It's show don't tell, baby. All you're seeing is them doing a thing at the table. Then the camera tracks in through the rain to the next window, and then you've got the two girls and the mom in there, and they're all having a light.
They're probably talking like,
conversation.
we've hoped for this for you
Yes.
for so long, that this crazy nonverbal brute would bring you up to his hellscape where he lives, and you could toil for the rest of your natural born life.
76%
They're
Neanderthal girl.
they're so excited
You're
for her.
so lucky.
So she goes back, a 2-day journey. In her head, she's got to be like, okay, this is awesome. But he does a couple of nice things as they're farming. What are they farming?
Yeah,
by
they
the way?
just cut. They're growing the garden for the
So it's just
for the
food
winter
them.
for them. Yep.
He offers her water. What a nice man.
Yeah, and she turns it down.
She turns it because she's like, I don't want to risk getting slapped in the face if I say yes.
Well, she has interactions with this guy. She's already had sex with him. Probably has done it every time he comes down in the spring.
But I
You know,
assume
so they-
everybody does this with her. That's the in and out of that
You
town.
got to pass the grist mill.
That's the in and out
before
of that
you-
town.
It literally.
And this girl is yeah.
That's how she got sick.
But it looks like a terrible life. And one thing that I think is interesting from that time, and you see it in other movies, is stoking up hot coals and then putting them under the bed for warmth.
Yeah.
And
And-
all of these
Well,
things.
and it looks like they were heating a pan of water, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes they would have them like in the 40s and the 50s. No, not in the 40s. What am I talking about? Around this time where you put coals in a thing and you put them under the covers,
Yeah.
like where your feet are. Did I say the 40s? What is wrong? I need to address that. I said the 40s and the 50s. There was central heating and air back at that time. So I don't know what's wrong with it.
And radio.
And radio. But so this looks like a horrible life. You get a good look at her.
Compared to our life,
She
yeah.
looks 58 years old.
She it's
looks
a
as
hard
old as
life.
Geppetto.
It's a hard life.
But was her life that hard in town? She was making grain. She was banging dudes.
I don't know. Rode hard, put away wet. What do you know?
She's put away old. She's pregnant. It's revealed she's pregnant. And I think a really nice thing, and Jess said this too, is when he made the crib, the baby crib,
Yeah. Well, yeah, and
which I think
so
was a
that
nice
one,
gesture.
Yeah, you're going to see different. He had some nice compassion for her, and then the next one around is going to be way more compassion. But that cradle was pre-made, that was not carved, so he found that in one of the buildings. You can tell it's already got scroll work on it. He kind of checks the side, and you see wood is chafing off. So
Jesus.
the second one he clearly
You saw
carves,
him.
'cause
I
they showed
assumed
him.
he made the first one.
Yeah, no, that was pre-made.
So we gave him more credit than he deserved. He just stole somebody else's.
Well, I
baby
think the
crib.
first time I saw it, I thought he made it too. But after, spending way too much time with this movie in preparation, I picked up on that.
In one of the lines of dialogue, he's talking to his indentured wife, and he says, "You learn to survive without even realizing it," which was an interesting thing to say because is he just saying?
Yeah, she was trying to get him to go back to town. See, have you ever
Yeah,
thought
she
about
said,
leaving?
"Did you think about leaving?"
Look at all this dialogue.
But yeah, this is it. This is as loquacious as it gets.
What?
Chatty.
Thank you.
So one thing, he does say that I thought was interesting throughout that interaction is he says, "I'm not alone anymore."
Yeah.
Because that seemed kind of important.
Yeah, he says, besides, I'm not alone.
Because she says, "What if something happens to you or happens to us?"
Yep.
And he says, "I'm not alone," which I think is kind of cool. But again, this is a terrible life for her.
Yeah, well, he all of a sudden gets Randy and bends her over the table.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. He goes from zero to horny. Like, you
Yeah.
can see his lizard brain. The guy is not even developed enough.
Well-
he's working with his pelts and then goes, "Brr," and just gets
I'd
up.
say like a Ferrari, but
There
that's
is
Italian.
no romance.
What?
There's no. He's not holding hands.
No.
This guy.
No, he didn't spit in his hand that time.
This
either.
guy's a real. And again, the inherent barbarism of it. You have to understand the time.
Yeah.
But it's still, you have to empathize with the characters. You see this woman who has
Well,
no agency over her life.
You feel like you're there.
Yeah.
You really, and a big part of it, I think, was the way they did the score, because the score only comes in on mostly longer shots and things like that. But
Yeah.
all the intimate stuff is just the noise and sound, either the forest.
Okay, what are
or
you going to call intimate?
what's going on close.
Close
Not
shots?
intimate in a relationship.
No, there's nothing
sense.
intimate in between them at all.
in caveman Neanderthal, but that, because it's just the real ambient sounds of the room and what's going on. You hear the fire going in the background. It's like watching a documentary at that
Yeah.
point. And I think that puts you much more into the movie as realism.
he does something kind of interesting, and I wanted to look this up because the wife it gets sick. There's something wrong with her. But at one point, he is scraping bone marrow out of a bone, a large
Yeah.
bone, into a mortar and pestle.
Yeah, and
Is-
they do that,
is that
throughout the movie.
a
I
thing?
didn't know what that was.
I mean, because you can eat bone marrow. That's a
Well-
delicacy at fancy restaurants now. But
well, when you tan hides, I'm thinking it's to do with tanning the hides, because usually you would brain
need that?
you would brain tan the hides, every animal has enough brain to tan their own hide. So usually brain, that was usually the course, but I think it might have had to do with that, unless they were just making some form of grease, but it's done throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
And I would like to know exactly what that is because I don't
So
know.
I'm going to share something really I'm ashamed of. I'm very ashamed. And I blame the filmmaker because the way it's edited, the wife is alone in their bed. He's milking goats.
Yeah.
And I think she's having the baby. Then they cut to him holding a baby goat.
Yes.
And I wondered, did she give birth to a goat? Don't take that seriously.
They were showing his beautiful companion. They were showing that the filmmaker was showing that he wanted to have a family. He wanted to have a child.
He loved that goat.
He is cradling this baby goat, petting it. Like he's looking forward to having a baby is what I believe that was a symbolism for. But simultaneously, his wife is in there dying. Yeah. Screaming. That was a scream I think you heard in the trailer.
The first one was, yeah.
Yeah.
So wife dies, and he takes about 3 seconds to get over it, and then starts to dig her grave in the cemetery.
How you find out she's dead is he comes walking out with the cradle and throws it against that stone wall and smashes it to bits. Then
I don't feel so bad. He didn't spend all that time making it. He just threw the...
Yeah. Yeah, then he goes up into the cemetery and loses his shit.
And destroys all the crosses. Holy cow.
So he was, once again, establishing that he wanted a family. Ugh. He had accepted that.
Yeah.
He's holding the baby goat, and then he completely loses his shit when she dies.
What he does, though...
Compassion for a Neanderthal.
Is a baller move. Is he bandages this woman up, and he takes her back to town, and he throws her at Dad and says... This didn't work.
Well,
you sold me something bad.
He buries her first, right? In the middle of winter, he digs the holes and buries her. And then the next day, he gets pissed and digs her up, puts her on the sleigh.
That makes it even worse.
How about that scene where he's taking the sleigh down the hill? He's trying to get back down to the village. He's going after Geppetto. And he slips and falls, and the sled just goes down and crashing, and the body just goes flying.
It was funny.
Oh,
it was funny.
Funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
Oh, that was heart-wrenching.
That's a little insight into my psyche. I laughed at that because I was thinking the whole time, what if he slips and what if the body?
Oh no! I was crushed. I was like,
in that
oh
first,
my god!
Thing where he has to climb up the rope. Yeah. He threw her down. Like you knew he did. He didn't lower her down. He just like screw it.
I ain't got time for this.
When you get rid of your Christmas tree, you dump it over the thing in the backyard and you kick it in the bushes. So he brings her back.
Yeah, and he just lays her in the middle of the floor in Geppetto's house.
And so why he tells Geppetto, you need to pay up by spring. What does he owe anymore?
He owes
Does he owe?
He owes what he paid in skins and coins for first wife.
Because she's defective.
Yes, he's returning his defective product.
My mind exploded.
It's an ownership. I mean, the father took the dower rights, so this is like a thing.
I mean, as you're saying it, doesn't it just sound awful?
In our day and age, yeah. But the fathers used to always take dower rights. You bring your goats and your chickens and your horses, and you trade for his daughter to be married.
So it turns out, and I think this is kind of an interesting twist, is that the father knew that his daughter was pregnant already. It wasn't Caveman's, and she was sick. Mm-hmm. And he thought, if this guy marries her and takes her up into the woods, she has the kid, maybe everything's going to be okay.
He said something like, she was a widow and pregnant. What would the people in town say? And you showed up with the money. Yeah. You would have done the same thing. Look at all that dialogue.
I don't know what if he would have done the same thing. I'm not sure.
We know what Caveman would have done.
But what happens is that thankfully Geppetto's got a little extra coin in his pocket in the form of another daughter.
Well, yeah, we don't, yeah. He goes back up the mountain. And then comes back in spring, yeah.
And he comes back in spring, and the guy can't pay up, but he says, I've got another one of these.
Well, it's
a newer model.
So he's carrying the grain into the grist mill, right? and he turns and he sees Caveman coming. He's like, oh, and he drops the bag of grain. He's like, wait, and he runs in and slams the door.
How much money are we talking about?
And down
Would you
19
guess?
coins.
I
That's
didn't
my
look
guess.
that up. What do you know what that means? What a coin? What the value is?
No,
I didn't look that
they're
up.
just. I don't know if they had different delineations like we do now, or if
Yeah.
a coin's a coin.
Because it seems so very plain. And maybe one coin is
$1.
this. This costs money.
This is silver.
That's what it is. And he's presented with this younger daughter, and
Yep. He kicks the door and gun in hand, and he's ready to shoot Geppetto, right? And Geppetto uses this cute little 16-year-old blonde girl as a human shield. And then he introduces her as, this is my youngest daughter.
topple the patriarchy, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is what this podcast is. We shouldn't have been in charge even back then. Even back then, we were dicks about things.
This is my
Human
youngest
shield.
daughter.
And that's and
If you marry her,
so he looks her over.
yeah, he does
like
a full-on
like he can
roots.
be. It's gross. Yeah, it's
Full on,
gross. Like he can be picky. Are you serious? Do you
He's-
think girls in this town are lining up to be with this guy?
He turns her around, stares at her ass, pushes, not gently, pushes her back around. He checks her teeth. It's not.
Yeah,
It's
he shouldn't be that picky. This guy should not. He
Yeah.
barely can speak. He is. Oh. So
Are you breathing?
She-
Okay.
she is given something by her father, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
The father gives her a red cloth and says, if everything goes wrong, this is something
And
you
you-
can use.
If you can't take it anymore. Yeah.
What
this
did
is
you
right.
think?
This is right after the wedding. What he gave her? Well, when I see it later, when she
I
unwraps
thought it was a gun,
yeah.
like to kill yourself.
It's Well, what I thought it was.
We'll get there, but
Okay.
you just said something. There was a wedding ceremony this time.
Yeah.
First time,
And the salesman was there too.
no ceremony,
No.
no nothing. But this time, what was that
she
wedding
was,
like?
She was a pregnant
she
widow.
wear? What did she wear?
You don't even.
Oh, you don't? That
You
doesn't
just
rank.
you just send her
It
up the
doesn't
hill.
rank a ceremony. Sick and pregnant, damaged goods. You don't get a ceremony. I'm
Yeah,
not
we don't
paying
even
for
know
that
what she
shit.
was sick with, but it wasn't good. She
You
was
know
coughing.
what hall did they rent? Did that cost money? Was that like Blair's place that they had the ceremony? Who came?
Yeah, it was probably the back end of the saloon.
How did they send invitations? Like, hey, that weird mountain guy who doesn't talk,
Yeah.
he's getting married. Come on over. We're
The
gonna
whole-
have-
the whole
we're gonna have
town was there.
snacks." The whole town was there. He's bringing goat treats. So they,
the hell's a goat treat?
I don't know.
Goat's milk.
So they show part of the journey back, which is to say, this is a shit journey back to town, and
Oh yeah, and
or
she's
back to home, and
Yeah.
it's terrible. It's hard to deal with.
she's a young girl, and she's wearing black dress shoes. That one got me.
Yeah.
I'm like, why the hell? She can't climb the hill. She's getting stuck on all the brush. She's just having a terrible time. with it.
Goddamn useless, right?
Yeah.
He should just throw her off the thing. And
Well, and he just keeps plowing ahead. He doesn't. He's like, ugh, come on.
so they get back to home, and again, you realize that this is not going to be great for her either. This is a terrible
No.
life.
You're queuing up the phone here.
Well, so I've got a clip, and what I did, because at this point he's having a conversation with his indentured servitude wife number 2,
Daughter too.
and he's eating, and I couldn't do a clip of dialogue. I wanted to do music, so I have a little supercut of this disgusting monster man eating. Now, this may be podcast history. This may be the grossest thing to happen on any podcast, but these are and not all of them, by the way. So if you like this kind of thing and you're kinky about like weird mouth sounds,
This is
watch
for
this
you.
movie. So this is a
You will
little,
buy this movie.
little cut of, this is literally him eating.
You sure that's that water running?
So gross. I assume he's peeing while he's doing this.
He's at the waterfall.
Do you hear this? Who eats like this? This is gross.
Caveman.
¿Y esa cortina de ahí?
And he's talking.
¿Hecho estos días?
So
And she is not eating at all. Listen to him slapping his lips. Just blah, blah.
Tu madre me dio esto para ti.
is this with wife too? Daughter too?
Ew. Okay.
All right. I gotta. That was beautiful, by the way. But I gotta regress for a quick second.
Somebody should remix that.
'Cause
Remix is into like a dance hit.
Yeah. So we flew by my my spiritual moment. Oh. So we got to regress just for a quick second. So wife number one tells him she's pregnant, and then the next day when he is out setting his traps, he turns and he sees a wolf facing him, and he pulls out his dagger. And he's a big dude. I mean, this wolf looks like a little poodle standing facing him off. Right. And he's got this huge ass knife. And they lock eyes, and then there's a serious moment there of, this is going to be a life and death thing. And then the wolf just gently turns and, trots off through the woods. You clearly see that it's a female wolf. He immediately pulls up his rifle to shoot her, has a clear shot, and does not take the shot, which is what his survival is based on. And it was after daughter number one had told him the night before that she was pregnant. So I think that was a poignant
Not his daughter
symbolism.
number one, wife number one.
Yeah.
Geppetto's daughter number one.
Geppetto's daughter, yeah. That was
that's cool.
a
I thought that
spiritual
was
moment where
interesting,
he went out of the kill mode and
Yeah.
went into the compassion mode.
There are little moments of that, and I think the brutality makes some of those small moments, although still he's an unforgivable person,
Yeah.
more poignant. Those little moments.
Yeah.
But he's also a disgusting weirdo because he's in his main kitchen with the main water supply, and he just snots one right into the water.
Yeah. That he's washing his hands.
Yeah, he's washing his hands in it, and
He just
just blows a boog in there.
well.
It's all going to come out in the end.
You still think 76%, huh?
76% caveman?
Yeah,
Oh, it's
Neanderthal.
closer to 96 at this point. So, but he does have conversation with wife number two. And I think there's something interesting when she's up on the cemetery and she notices to what you think are graves dug. And she asks him about it, and he says, "Those aren't graves; those are holes."
Yeah. So he had gone back down to the village and said he was going to be gone 4 days. Again, 2 days down, 2 days back.
Yep.
So during that time, he told her, "Don't be careful going in the buildings. There could be vipers."
Oh, there could be. Yeah, that was sweet too.
Yeah, it was
There could be
compassionate.
vipers.
Yeah, he doesn't want to come back to another dead wife. He's got to.
Yeah,
he's
he
got
doesn't
some
want to
business
traipse
do.
this one down the mountain, throw her down
Yeah.
the cliff.
But we didn't talk about their honeymoon night, though. Are we gonna just glass over that, or?
Honeymoon?
Yep.
Okay, there was a loose wedding ceremony. I don't think honeymoon.
No. When they get back to the cabin, the honeymoon consummation.
I mean, a honeymoon would mean going somewhere other than home, making a weekend out of it. He didn't take her camping.
Yeah. Well, how old would you say she is? What's character-wise?
I assume everybody back then is 23 years older than they actually are. So I'd say she's in her 20s.
She looked 16 to me.
Her sister looked 58.
Yeah.
So Geppetto, I don't know what's happening with Geppetto.
She looked like 16 to me, but their honeymoon night, she had her hair all out. She's laying on the bed waiting for
I don't think
caveman to come in.
She's waiting for him to not come in.
And
she's hoping he died on a mountain somewhere.
Well, when you find out, and then caveman he's not a gentle lover.
He's a real asshole, and most of the time
He is a caveman at heart when it comes to consummation.
that's not a honeymoon.
That was their honeymoon.
Their honeymoon. They had a little slop. He allowed her to eat.
Yep.
And
then
then
he went all caveman on her in the
Ugh.
bedroom.
So there's a turn in this, and you alluded to it, and I was trying to pinpoint like where it happened, because she takes a strong stance at some point, and they have an argument, or not an argument, because they're really not talking normally. They just say things back and forth. But he says, your father killed your sister, essentially, by letting her come here sick.
Yeah.
And he did the same
And
to
pregnant. And she said, that's a lie.
you. And I think that's where she either broke or, interestingly enough, found some strength.
Very, very close to what I have. Almost the same. I got it when she saw the two empty graves in the cemetery.
It started there.
I wrote that's where the shift happened for her.
And you see the
Because
performance.
before that, she's like, I'm gonna,
she's-
this is my life now. I'm gonna
It's an
make the
awful
best
life.
of it.
She's property. Again, she's massaging wolf skins and getting out of the whatever.
Well, she's scraping wolf skins, the hide, preparing the hides.
And then it's revealed that she's pregnant. And it's revealed by her looking at herself in the mirror, holding her stomach.
Yeah.
And that's the only way I guess you knew back
And
then.
she's like pushing on her stomach, like trying to make it go away.
Is that what you took from that?
Oh yeah, she did not want that. And this is after she's been caveman 3 times.
Well,
Brutally.
this is a terrible, terrible life. And another bit of compassion. Here's another one. Here's number 3 is she's pregnant, right? And it sucks to be pregnant. Morning sickness. I mean, imagine being pregnant back then in a crappy mountain house at the foot of what may have been a Spanish, garrison. And they're cleaning and skinning and gutting a wolf. And he gives her a break. He's like, you know what? Don't gut this wolf with me. You have a seat, honey. You're about to puke. And he lets her off the hook.
Oh, are you ahead where they were doing the hog there, gutting the hog?
Was it
in
a
the
hog?
other
I don't
room?
know.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was
Well,
a nice thing. Let her off her chores for the day because she was pregnant.
What about when he
vomiting
made her
all morning.
breakfast after she told her he was pregnant? And she got up the next morning
that's
and came
right.
out.
That's
and
right. He
He
made
had
her-
breakfast sitting there
He
waiting for her.
allowed her to eat.
He
was
made
pretty
breakfast for her, and it was sitting there waiting for her.
Yeah.
She was quite taken aback by that.
And it's, again, because of everything else to that point, it's like, wow,
Yeah.
that's really
He wants to be,
guaranteed that was the only time he did that, right? He's like, I'm doing this once. Then you're getting back to cleaning the pigs. I know you're puking, you're sick, but you got to clean these hogs.
yeah. He saw, like, it looked like she was bleeding. And he said, don't do
I
that.
assumed that they're all bleeding all the time. Back then, life must have been so painful. Everything hurt.
There's no Advil. There's no Excedrin.
You just lay out in the cold until you're numb, and then you come back in. But at this point, you see her, and again, there's a change in her. The actress, I think, does a really good. I like her in this a lot.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about that enough. So all 3, Caveman, Wife 1 and Wife 2, brilliant acting jobs.
I think
Throughout
everybody
this
does a good
entire
job in this.
movie.
Everybody does a good job.
Yeah. It's just those are your 3 main characters. That's
And other people are listed, but he's good, and as indicated by the fact that I told you I have 2 other movies like on my list of things that he is the star in, which is crazy. So is this when he's on his 4-day trip when she unwraps the red thing? Because he's on his 4-day trip.
No, it's he's just out setting traps. So
All
it's after he had come back and he gives her the reason you're here is because you were bought and paid for. That's why
Yeah.
you're here.
So she opens the red thing, and it's not a gun; it's herbs.
It is what I believe is poison hemlock. It's pine twigs.
Yeah,
So I Socrates drank poison hemlock.
he did. His last words were, "I drank what?"
What?
That's stolen from another comedian. I forget who.
He just literally
Socrates'
froze
last
me.
word,
I'm just like,
oh, dude, you said this was a mimosa. This sucks. So she unwraps these herbs
What?
and she puts them in jars, and then most notably, she washes her hands like really intensely.
yeah, because she was holding the poison.
So immediately, I'm thinking this is not good stuff, and she's gonna poison this
yeah,
motherfucker.
and she put it in the what I believe were the tea jars because pine needles are rich in vitamin C. So you make tea with pine needles, and that's how you get your vitamin C out in the forest.
Jesus, you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, it's not new. It's been around for before caveman,
I didn't know. BC, 4 caveman.
before Mario.
And she is clearly poisoning him because he is
Yeah.
not looking good and he's puking.
No, he is
But
white as a ghost.
Amongst all this, he starts making the crib, the first crib that he makes.
It's a log.
You see him carving the crib, and that's kind of sweet. If I could encapsulate one shot in this movie, and maybe this kind of parallels him in the waterfall cave,
Yeah.
is he's on his side and he smiles. That one night she's in bed and you see her and she has a look of relief on her face. She doesn't look downtrodden. She doesn't look defeated.
Because she's poisoned him?
She doesn't look celebratory. She just looks okay.
I've taken control of my life.
And it's a cool shot. It's moonlight and you see her. She's awake. He's, sawing logs like a weirdo.
Throwing up. No, he hasn't started that yet.
And I thought that was a good shot. This is when he leaves on the 4-day trip. And I was thinking, this guy, right? Life sucked so bad back then. This guy just probably thought, this is how life is for me now. He doesn't think he's being poisoned. He's just like, life's hard. I'm going to throw up all the time.
Yeah. I got a bug.
Like, that's life, whatever. And he's got to go through it. And he leaves. And this is...
He doesn't stop doing his daily routine.
He keeps going.
He keeps going.
Looking
throwing
terrible.
up and all. Yeah. He looked like he's going to drop dead any second.
And this is when she decides to escape. In movies back then, there's always that wrapping up bread and cheese and cloth that you're taking for the long journey because that's the only food that you can take that's not perishable.
Yeah.
And she does that. And that's her plan, right? She's just gonna escape to town.
She's poisoned him for a little bit now, and because he's already thrown up, he's very weak, and I think she figures he's gonna die and he's too weak to chase me, so she loads up her backpack that she brought with the only thing she brought with her, with the bread, and takes off on her own. Clearly not dressed for this. We don't even know she knows the way back.
Well,
but she's going for it.
She hasn't been given skills, agency over her life. She hasn't been taught. No. Geppetto didn't teach her anything.
She's just
Geppetto's just like,
cute little...
let's wait till Mountain Man comes down and takes you off to a beautiful life of servitude and horror. That's it, honey.
An indenturement.
This is all we can hope for you.
Yep.
You can't even take over the grain thing. Your sister did it. She died.
He'll go 0 to 60.
So ironically, and this is why I thought this was foreshadowing, she ends up in her escape stepping on one of his traps.
Traps, right.
And
screams
that's
right when
the
he's
second
about
scream
to shoot
in the
a wolf.
trailer. Yeah. And what's interesting is that's when he doesn't shoot the wolf, and I think, does he have a vision of her being in trouble?
She screams and he turns with the gun like towards the direction of the scream.
So maybe he heard her.
But then he goes back. Yeah, then he goes back to the house and doesn't find her and searches the whole village, doesn't find her. But he realizes she's packed up and gone.
And then he finds her.
Well, the next morning, after she's been laying out all night, he tracks her down and finds her.
And then he tracks her, literally tracks her.
Right. So at this point, what do you think a caveman would do?
Leave her out there?
He would be in a rage that you tried to run away from me, but no. He nurses her back to health. He saves her. He gets her unhypothermic by hugging her. And
he put salve on her crazy
frostbitten
feet.
Foot that had been in the trap. Yeah. Oh my God. And he saved her. And
I don't know that he'd be mad. I think he'd be indifferent that she left.
You expect him to be in a complete rage. But one thing through this whole movie, he's never hit or beat, either of the girls.
That's something.
He's never, because you would expect, you'd almost expect that from this guy.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But not once.
He just seems indifferent in a way. Yeah. He doesn't seem, like he just wants to procreate and as effectively as possible, whether they want to or not. And
well, I have a quick quote here from Daniel Boone.
What?
And this is very appropriate to this. All you need for happiness is a good gun, a good horse, and a good wife. Now, I want to point out that linguistically, the order in which you state stuff is the order of importance in your life. So the order of importance in Daniel Boone's life, who was, a caveman of sorts, right? He was a frontiersman, is gun, horse, and wife. So our caveman doesn't need a horse because he is the horse. He pulls his own sleighs. So gun.
But he had a dog at one point.
Gun and wife. The wolves ate it. Yeah, the wolves ate it. So, and he does spend an inordinate amount of time with his gun and cleaning his gun.
Is all of that still true?
What he wants to do.
Is there a modern parallel to that? Your phone,
I would
your
say
laptop.
I would say PlayStation,
your
phone,
Twitter account,
PlayStation, phone, and sex for our millennials. Yeah.
So he brings her back and he nurses her back to health. And this was another surprising turn. in that he's successful in helping her.
Yeah, he brings her back.
He says, in the spring, you can leave.
He
And she says, why?
Yeah, he says as soon as you're better enough, as soon as you're healed, you can go.
You can leave.
Yeah, he sets her free, and she says, "Why?"
Yeah.
Like
That was interesting to me.
yeah. Well, I think this is the reverse of fortunes here, and then she goes out and she's bawling her eyes out because she realized she's poisoned this man when he would have let her go to begin with.
Yeah.
And that she didn't have to commit murder
But we
to get
could make
away.
a pretty substantial case that he deserved to be poisoned on some level, right?
It's all he knew, right?
true.
I mean, aside from his lack of social skills,
This is a tough movie. And when we get to the reviews, it's a tough
Yeah.
movie because he is a tough protagonist, if you want to even call him that.
Well-
I mean, is there a protagonist in the movie?
oh yeah, it's him.
You think?
He's the lead. Oh yeah.
He's the lead, but is he the hero?
Well,
If there has to be a
yeah,
hero?
yeah, because of all the compassion that he does show, and you just say, well, this
Right. He offers water. He gets wife
He-
one a mirror.
he nurses both of them back to health. Well, the other one died, but I mean, he takes
did
care of
milk
them when
goats
they're
while,
sick.
While wife one died. That was a
Yeah,
miss.
he took care of them. He takes care of them while they're sick. He has no social skills. You know, you're here because I paid for you, and your dad sold you to me.
Yeah.
So okay, that doesn't work.
It's like he just doesn't understand how that could be offensive
You know,
or how that
Yeah.
could be not cool. That's just the way it is.
and a total lack of foreplay.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a romance guy.
No,
He's not getting cards for Valentine's Day.
You're not taking long
guy's rough.
walks along the mountainside.
But you could. He could take her to the cave place with the waterfall. Like, just make that switch.
Yeah,
Be
you
like,
could-
maybe I should be nicer to these people.
Yeah, I could. They could milk goats in the
Yeah.
moonlight.
Make goat cheese. Make goat cheese. Goat cheese and a little wine that he gets from that weird bar, the tavern.
the 2 extra bottles. Yeah.
But what's interesting is she leaves. She just pieces out and she just goes.
He wakes up and she's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
wakes up to throw up,
Yep.
and then he looks over and that bed was so friggin' small. Oh my God.
Again, terrible life. All
Yeah,
of it.
Caveman is all over
All
you
of it.
all the time.
I mean, he's better on that wood plank next
that
to
had
the
to
very
just-
legitimate fire.
That
you
had to
love.
smell good.
Nothing
Being in
smelled
that
good
bed
back
had
then.
to smell
Oh.
just.
But what he does is I think tends to his business because he knows he's dying. Does he let the goats go?
Yep. He
I think
kicks
he
the
lets the
goats out
goats go.
because he knows he's dying. Yeah.
And he puts on his best pirate shirt.
Well, he finds the twig in
Yeah,
the
he finds all the herbs.
the
But
tea.
why does he put on that he has this one fancy pirate shirt and he
Yeah.
waits till now to put it on?
Well, that was his coffin, laying on the bed with his gun. Back to the Daniel Boone quote. The most important thing in his life was his gun. And that bed. The bed was his coffin. He was just laying there to die.
Yeah.
Except today when I watched it, guess what I heard?
What you heard?
Yep. While they're droning away, doing the long pan shot away from the front door as we leave him laying in the bed. And the drone keeps, I'm assuming it was shot on a drone and then, as in CGI. It gets way far away from the town, and right at the very end of it, I hear a distant gunshot.
Really?
I think he shot himself.
I thought it was interesting that they made a point to show that he left the front door open.
Yeah.
The front door is wide open.
Yeah, so they would find him, I guess. I don't know. I thought he was just, this is my car. He was just laying there to die, and he put on his best digs for it. But I heard a very distant gunshot, and I think he was
Interesting.
done with the pain. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
He did have his finger on the trigger when
I
he was
would.
laying there.
I mean, why just sit there and wheeze to death?
Yeah. Well, his organs were clearly shutting down.
Yeah, not a good way to go. Well, that was. I liked it. I
That
really
was
did.
skin in the wolf.
I
Well,
liked it. It was. It
I'm
was
glad because I was
really surprisingly, because I looked ahead and read some of the reviews and some of the obvious things that people talked about. I'm like, oh, I don't want to deal with this. But yes, there were actions that he. I mean, the way he objectified, the way everybody objectified the women, and they had no agency; they were property. But there's other movies that show that that's how things were. And
history books.
He wasn't as crazy awful as I would have thought. The cinematography was great. The music was phenomenal. I want to call out Paloma Penarubia did the score, and I think this person's, I don't know, male or female, first full length feature.
That's amazing.
Been a lot of short films and commercials maybe, but
Yeah.
Paloma Penarubia.
And you think this? I don't think the cinematographer could have been his first time. It's just too good. It
I
was
did
so
look
well
at the
lit.
cinematographer, and there wasn't a ton of big stuff.
Just all good,
Yeah,
really talented
I mean,
people.
real locations.
Yeah,
Had
really
to be,
well
right?
lit.
I mean, maybe the
It looked
interior
like film to me, but I don't know.
might have been.
Instead of, which is a lot more expensive too.
Well, this was good. This was fun. This surprised me. Back when at the lunch table when you said this, I'm like, I want nothing to do with this.
You told me that. You're like, I can't go
I'm
there.
glad to have watched it, and apparently, again, I like this lead actor because we're gonna do 2 more movies with him in it,
Mario.
and these 2 movies are way different than this.
Yeah.
But all right, we'll end with some reviews.
Yes. All right. I won't hit too hard. I'm in a good place.
I'm glad.
Because I read a couple of bad ones myself, like this whole
You
movie.
did?
Or
Are you,
something, but yeah,
because of this, are you starting to
eating
read
and rape.
reviews?
I'm like, well, yeah, those are factors in the movie.
So we'll start with the bad one.
All right, there we go.
This is a 1 out of 10. IMDb, a masterpiece, a gem. No, sorry, this movie makes no sense. Here we go. One of the worst movies I've watched this year. Don't know what movie have watched those that call this masterpiece. Wait, all right, I'm going to have to do that again.
It's precious.
Don't know what movie have watched those that call this masterpiece. It's a kind of no talking movie, like Castaway. But imagine, no Tom Hanks, no plot, and no movie. Tom Hanks wasn't in this, ladies and gentlemen.
Wilson! Wilson!
This guy didn't even have a volleyball equivalent of
No,
Wilson. I guess Wilson would have been the wife.
give him a ball.
You know, it's the wife. She has as much personality and agency as a inanimate volleyball. The only you will see is a good and repulsive Mario Kassas acting. Probably one of his best acting, but in probably one of his worst movies. Some reviewers talks about a message or something. I couldn't find any message, but just an empty movie and no plot. I want those 2 hours back. And if the director made this movie to test the audience's patience, well, I'll like to inform Netflix and the director that I watched this movie till the ending, so I'm officially requesting my prize.
Man, that's a Monty Doro line if I ever heard one.
A lot of the reviews, I have to say, people were sick at the eating noises,
Yep.
his wheezing. People were physically ill when he ate. One reviewer said that they wished the first wife poisoned him.
So it'd be over.
And a lot of comparisons to The Revenant.
Well, I love it for its realism, and that's all part of it.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who was repulsed by his mouth sounds and
Yeah,
eating.
you had your longest recording ever, in 5 episodes
Was it?
now. Oh yeah, by far. So you were so repulsed that you
Well, it was a supercut.
you couldn't look away.
And it wasn't all of them.
You kept touching the canker sore.
Here's a positive review. And this is titled Acts of Tenderness.
Oh, caveman compassion.
This is not a fancy review. There's a lot of fancy reviews, but I like this one. Here we go.
Okay.
It is not accurate to call the main character a brute. Acts of tenderness. He spares the wolf, who sneaks up on him to tell him that something is wrong at home. He caresses a small goat.
Baby goat. It's a baby goat.
He nurses his wife back to help. He helps his wife carry her bag up the mountain.
Yeah. And then he throws a rope at her head.
He prepares breakfast for his wife when he learns that she is pregnant. Yes. He builds not one, but 2 cribs. There are many more examples.
There are.
And that's the end of the review. A lot of people in the positive reviews use the word masterpiece. Spanish cinema praise for the lead actor, that he was a pretty boy in other movies, and he kind of transformed for this, which in a later episode, I think you'll see him in a Later 2 episodes, probably, if I get my ways, you'll see him in 2 different roles completely.
I'll be happy to watch Mario again, twice more.
He's good. And the one I'm struggling now because the one I want to do is something I've talked about recently, and the other one is a longer ago movie, and it's a horror movie actually.
Yeah.
So I'm going to struggle to figure out which one to do next. It won't be soon.
Independent
But
horror film is so much fun.
in Spanish, independent horror movies too.
We are spending a lot of time in Europe, you and I.
Well, next episode may be a change, so
I'll be coming back to the States.
you never know. But thank you, Todd, for suggesting this movie. This was I was going to go in and say this was a fun watch. It wasn't a fun watch. It was a good watch, and nice suggestion. I liked it.
Yeah, I love the realism, baby.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. If you have any thoughts, questions, suggestions for movies, a little independent podcast at gmail.com is our email address. Any criticisms, be kind, please. We'll take them, but be kind. Don't be mean.
You can find us on iTunes and all the other major.
Hopefully, eventually. Yes.
Well,
all of those.
When they're hearing this, yeah.
Yes. This was very meta, ladies and gentlemen.
And Ryan,
Yes.
we will always have
Monty Doro.
Who are those guys?
Who are those guys? You'll love it. It's just a little
Love it. It's just as like independent. You know what I mean? You're about to say.
You'll love it. It's just a little independent. You're gonna love it. It's just a little independent. Okay.
We're 10s.
Yeah, we're two or
Yeah.
two. We're like
You know, love it. It's just as little independent. Like it's just
like I'm
little
introducing a
independent.
movie to you.
Like you're about to.
All right. Yeah.
Just as little independent.